Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time I'm meeting you with this video. Today I want to share with you a topic of comfort zone, explanations and experiences, what we should do with outside and inside a comfort zone, and how this comfort zone is there for us, as everything is there for us, never against, always for. It's always for our growth, everything that comes. This is the meaning of this whole talk I want to share for you today, which is also an opposite side, of course, you have to, I will talk about that later. Anyhow, why did I come to this topic here today? I learned new techniques for coaching in my education that I'm doing, also parallel here. And there was this time coming to say, okay, practice it. Practice it professionally and get feedback from a feedback giver. So the educational department there has this type of controlling, if you are not of controlling, of teaching, of teaching you by saying you have to make 10 coachings with a feedback giver. So you coach someone and there is someone else sitting and writing down everything they find, they point out as good or bad or wrong or right or especially good, or every little aspect. And I did that first one just a few days ago, and there I really realized, oh my goodness, before that it started again, that I get this type of excitement that I had when I had to do exams in my studies, where I get really nervous just shortly before it, and that same feeling arised in me, and of course, because it's already a trained program. Whenever a kind of exam has control is done from your knowledge, from what my brain knows on nervousity and excitement and feeling not well enough, the thought of the belief comes up, not feeling well enough, and all this, it's a mixture, it's a cocktail that you have always dranken in front of challenging moments, So this came, and I was like, oh, interesting, that it comes again. But I also felt in that moment how good it is that I found already a moment of growth. I felt already, because I know already this whole process very well, that when I get such a feeling, I know I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing to grow, to grow in it. And it was not always like that I was right away understanding, oh, yoo-hoo, and being joyful about getting nervous and afraid and with all this belief. there were times where I hated it and I didn't like that, and I was fighting against this. And it made it worse, of course. It made it even more worse because I didn't accept this to be there. And I was then busy with my energy to fight against it, rather than being in that moment and looking what is needed to face that challenge, to do what is needed in that challenge moment. I had no capacity because my capacity was used up by fighting against this ungood feeling, feeling feelings and thoughts. So yeah, that's really interesting, and this is where you should get to, onto this point. Yeah, and now I want you to listen to Eckhart's talk, because it's really, really interesting, and really, yeah, he brings it exactly like I think to that point. And he also points out what can happen, or that it could also be that if you overdo the challenges in your life, if you go deeper into the challenges, then your system is already trained for, because it's he explains it very well with the training, like you train your muscles in your body to strengthen your heart beat, your heart pumping, your blood pumping, your lungs opening, and the size of your lungs and the ability to breathe deeply and to get more oxygen into your system when you need it, and all these then if you overdo it, if you go to if your system is not trained well enough to face a new challenge, then it could also happen that you're how do you say, that it doesn't work out and you're gonna hit the ground, and it could also happen, and that's but you can influence that, if you can sense which tasks are possible for you right now, and you will see which ones are actually not doing you good, because you're not trained for that challenge, maybe for that deeper challenge. Then you please realize also to step back and first go little steps. If you take too big steps, it could happen that you hit the ground quite hard. This is just what I want to add here. Now enjoy, relax, lean back, sit back, take yourself a cup of tea, a cup of warm water, or just water, and then listen to Eckhart now. And don't forget, in the end there is a wonderful gift for you. Never ever forget that. Listen till the end and you will hear what great, wonderful, beautiful gift you will be able to get.
When you want to strengthen the physical body, what do? You exercise. And you exercise, one way of putting it is to say that you create difficulty for the body. You create obstacles for the body to overcome. Whatever it is, running on the treadmill, lifting weights. You're creating a difficulty for the body. Any exercise is making life difficult for the body. That's a way of looking at it. That's not a normal way of looking at it. You take the body out of its comfort zone, although there is a stage where the body, once it gets going, the body may enjoy the energy of it. But until that flows, there's a discomfort. And that's the only way the body can get stronger. If the body stays in its comfort zone, then, well, you would be lying on a sofa or in a deck chair. It's very nice, but the body doesn't change. So that's an interesting, almost an analogy for something that happens to humans, because it seems that life for everybody creates difficulties. So it's not, one would have thought, if I were God, I would make life easy for everybody. If you did that, most likely there would be no evolution would ever have happened, or no further evolution if you do it right now. Because it's only, it seems, both on the physical level and beyond, it's only through facing difficulties, which you could also call challenges, which you could also call problems, if you like, which you could also call one damn thing after another. The strange thing is, only by encountering these challenges do we grow in consciousness and generate energy. It awakens us eventually. Now, if you overdo physical exercise, you put too much strain on the body, you could kill the body, you could kill yourself, and this has happened. People who were so obsessed with physical exercise that they overdid it, and then instead of the body getting stronger, it dies. And you could also say, when you look at life and humans, life on this planet, probably many other planets, you would say, well, it's all very well. Sometimes it seems to work that through facing challenges and problems we grow. We grow out of identification with mind, we grow out of the ego, we transcend our conditioned state of consciousness, and a new consciousness arises. And if without facing difficulties and challenges, there would not have been any growth in consciousness and no awakening. If I had had for example, a trust fund, and even eventually to a trust fund, maybe other difficulties will happen. But for quite a while, it could be that this person remains stagnant or might enjoy certain activities or indulge in sensory pleasures, until it gets too much, it's no longer satisfying, and then it reaches a critical stage, and sometimes. So in other words, when life gets too easy for you, things can quickly deteriorate. But that's your opportunity then. Because first life gets too easy, then because it gets too easy, it deteriorates and you lose more and more consciousness. And then it is possible that you encounter so much suffering that then finally experience the difficulty of life. And then there's a possibility of growth.
Yeah, thank you very much, Eckhart. Isn't it really very well explained what I said in the beginning and how Eckhart reached these things? Yeah, I'm really enjoying the way he explains these things. And yeah, I hope you understood the essence of this whole thing, that really go for comfort zone, go out of it, to try it step by step. Don't take too huge steps, take small steps. Always picturize or visualize like a stair, like stairs in front of you. And you could take huge ones which you will never ever get to reach. In the first stair you will not reach if the distance is too high, the height of the stair is too high for you. You will not reach it, not even the first one. So break it down and make smaller steps, because then you will be able to reach that high stair level. You could visualize two stairs next to each other, one that has many small steps and one that has only huge steps. And you see, you have like maybe 10 little steps to reach that one huge step from the other side, from the other stairs. But when you're standing in front of it, you will not be able to reach that first step from that big one. But by doing this 10 little steps that you can do, you reach that level of this one step that is so huge. And that is such a great picture of understanding this. And trust me, I was really like that. I'm, for example, maybe it is also for you the same or similar. I'm in my life often, I'm already quite good in things, and in the way that when I try out something, I often had that experience that I was already doing it very well, very good. And I was like, I was a little bit over the top with my ego then, saying, yes, I knew I could do it and all this. Anyhow, I was very fast, right in the first moment, to be quite good already. And but I was not trained before, The training I never had. I was right away good, so. But what happened then is, the next times I repeated that thing, I was experiencing getting worse and worse. And then I realized, and this happened because my brain was coming in. I was starting to think over and think about what I did and how I did it, and that I want to repeat it, and there was this ego that wanted to repeat that experience, and that wanted to analyze what exactly I did different, and all that. It wanted to repeat that moment, and that made me really yeah, I didn't like that. And then I often stopped things because I got so mad about that I could do it right away in the first try, and then I became worse after that. That really annoyed me. But it didn't, yeah, what does it not do? It doesn't strengthen any abilities of holding a breath through things and learning by little steps. Yeah. It is like I reached the first big stair just on the energy of, on my high energy that I had anyhow. But then the next high step I could not do, never. I never reached that next high step because I gave up early before that. Because then I faced the difficulties, the things, and the difficulties I mean by the things that I still need to train to be repetitively good in something new. Repetitively good in something new. Not just by accident or by the first intention of joy, by doing something new. And so I was always kind of dying at the second high step, yeah, and gave up, and then was, yeah. Maybe it's the same with you, but then you can visualize a stairs for such people like me and like maybe you as well. Visualize that stair in a different way, that it has a first high step, and all the next ones are little ones. But still, these little ones, after 10 little ones, you are on a high stair, yeah. And this is what you have to realize then, yeah. It's also like the birth. You know, the birth moment is a very high step to do that birth, to come out of the body of your mom, yeah, to go through this whole birth process. It's such a high challenge for you, for your life. And this is how life starts, with a huge challenge. And you do it, yeah, you face it, and you have done it. If you can listen to this talk, you have made it, yeah. and after that, it might seem not as challenging, because you just have to breathe, and you just have to wait for you get food, and it will, maybe not in the first day. So this transformation time of breathing and all this, it takes also a lot of energy, as we see babies sleeping a lot. It is a challenging time. It's a whole time. It's not just a moment. But maybe when you're a few months old, then everything is, you are used to this environment, kind of, and you learn, and there will come, well, maybe it's not just months, let's see, the time when you stop sleeping too much, which could be, I have 2 children, but it could be 1 year maybe, let's say 1 year. The first year to open your eyes, to see everything, to be able to sense everything that a grown-up can sense. Yeah, that after that time, after all your senses have been brought to their 100% function, and then it might seem quite challenging free, yeah. And then you have to learn by little steps. Then the little steps come, yeah, compared to this huge step of birth and transformation from this inside world of the belly to the outside world, that huge world of so many senses out there. Yeah, you can always look at it that way, that maybe it helps you to understand that challenges are really needed and important for you to transform again and again, all over again. To do this like a butterfly changing from this little, I don't know the English word, but what the butterfly is before it becomes a butterfly, yeah. This transformation process that is needed for him, yeah. And we make many more metamorphoses here during this life, not just the one that the butterfly does, and the butterfly doesn't live that long. So we make many butterfly transformations, so become larger and larger, prettier, more colorful. Yeah, I would call it the butterfly effect of transformation processes here. You get more colors, more and more, brighter and brighter. You will shine brighter and brighter. This is how you should look at it. And then it will be like this. If you look at it like this, it will be like this. If you look at it like a heavy, life is so heavy and all these challenges make me smaller, yeah, then it's not how you should look at it. Then you have a wrong perspective onto these things. And of course it can happen in life. If you have chosen, like it often happened to me, I took these huge steps. I always wanted to go to these huge steps rather than making small steps. I was so enthusiastic and I am easy to excite for something, and often it is very high above me, this what I get excited for. And this is a good thing, but don't do the mistake of wanting to reach that in one huge step you take. Yeah, learn that it needs smaller steps and then go these smaller steps. Yeah, and this is normal. It needs your enthusiasm and your excitement for reaching the next step. It needs it. If you put too low next aims, it won't motivate you as much. So you need an aim that motivates you, that really wants you to, where you really want it to reach. Yeah, otherwise you will give up on the way, on half the way. And it's so important that not the aim is important, but you have to understand, when you look at such an aim that is very far away and it makes you excited and all this, visualize your way to this aim, who you become on this path, who are you when you have reached that aim? What kind of verses do you have? What kind of beliefs do you have? How do you act? How you interact with your environment, with the people, what are you becoming inside on this path. And this is what you have to enjoy and be getting excited about. Yeah. And then you will also, if you do that, if you're just focusing on who you become, then you can really see the real deep joy inside of you. And you can realize, oh wow, there are behaviors and of how I feel and how I react that I want to change, that I need to change. You will then realize what is really not right at the moment for this to be this. And this is the only thing on your path, becoming someone else, becoming someone new, becoming that butterfly that has completely different capabilities and features than what it was before. Okay, now it needs wings, and maybe now you need to find a good way in communication with people. You have to become communicative. Before, on that ground where you were crawling, you didn't need to be communicative because there were not many people that you met. For example, it's just a funny example here, but yeah, maybe you have to learn to get more patient, to be able to wait for things to come, to wait for things to happen. Maybe you have to learn to be more thankful for everything you have, as it might happen on the way that you don't have too much food, or that your resources in life get reduced to a minimum of surviving. It could happen, so you have to get used to be patient and to be thankful and grateful for every little thing you have as well. Yeah, and all these wonderful, and this is all wonderful. Being grateful fulfills you. It's a fulfilling feeling that's the most wonderful feeling you can have. Gratefulness and joy, of course, a kind of joy inside of you. The joy about being here, about having what you have, about living, just about living. And these things you will learn on that way, on that path. Yeah. Now I want to let you go into your day or into your night with this wonderful connection here of energy, of joy and gratefulness. And I want to remind you that there is a huge, it is huge. It has a huge impact onto you. A wonderful gift for you, which is a free coaching session with me that you can book when you look up my email in the channel description, and you can write me some proposals for dates, and the time will always be the same at 9:30 p.m. European time. And you just pick the dates and we see if it's available or not, and we will find a date. Yeah, and now I want you to remind you of who you really are in this world. And maybe you know my talks, then you already know what comes now. And if not, and it doesn't matter if you do or if you don't, but repetitively think about it, that you are the lottery in your life. You are the hugest gift in your life, and also to all the other people out there. As we are all so connected that we know exactly the person that you see in a moment is perfectly there in that moment. Yeah, it does its role, it plays its role, and it doesn't matter if it plays a joyful bringing role or a difficulty bringing role, a challenging role. It's all things we all need in our lives to grow. So we help each other to grow. Every person helps the other one to grow. And that's why we all are lottery wins for each other and for ourselves as well. Now have a wonderful second, minute, hour, day, week, months, year, this whole time. Let it be joyful and wonderful, no matter how challenging, as they are part of that process of more growth of your personality into joy and gratefulness.